Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I was just on Baylor Rick TV's channel, and I seen a very dope interview, man, that he did with hardcore Amir Mansour. Really hope this guy gets a good fight one of these days, man. A big fight for him. At least put him in some type of, title eliminator or something like that. But he's 45 years old. He doesn't fight like your typical 45-year-old. Not only is he still in good shape, his movements, he doesn't have old man legs. You guys know what I mean when you start watching those older boxers, especially at heavyweight, where their leg strength just look like that it's going when they get even late 30s going into their 40s, when they start getting hit with stiff shots, their legs stiffen up on them. Doesn't seem to have old man legs or old man chin. He's excitement. He's everything that fans claim that they want to see as far as all action type of heavyweights. Smaller heavyweight as far as his height and his size and his reach. But he packs a heavyweight punch and he has a heavyweight chin. And but yeah, listening to this interview on Baylor Rick TV, shouts out to Baylor Rick. You can listen to Amir Mansour tell his story, man. It's about a 2-hour interview, but it's very entertaining. I watched it in parts. And every heavyweight you can think of in the top 20, he got a story for all of them. How fights were almost going to come together, then the fights fell apart. Povetkin, for example, when Povetkin fought Radinko in the summertime, that fight, according to Amir Mansour, came down to himself and Radinko, and the Povetkin camp chose Radinko. Mansour said he was ready. He'll take the fight. Whatever the stipulations, he's cool. He just wants to fight. They end up picking Radinko over him. When Spilka fought Deontay Wilder, I remember that one because I remember I did the post-fight video on my not a post-fight, but a prediction video on my first channel, my Mr. Boxing Today channel. I remember doing a prediction on Spilka versus Mansour. That fight was scheduled first. People kind of forget that fight was scheduled. And then literally like a week later, they said Amir Mansour is going to get the title shot. And literally for an hour, Amir Mansour celebrated that he's going to get the Deontay Wilder title shot. He says 1 hour goes by, he gets a call back saying, nope, they're giving the title shot to Spilka instead, and you're going to have to fight Dominic Brazil. So, a lot of fighters, man. He has stories for anybody you can name. He has a story as to why that fight got turned down or didn't happen. Dillian White. When Dillian White came over here, was it in August when he fought Malcolm Tan? Amir Mansour said, hey, I'll fight you. He threw his name out there, trying to have his people contact Eddie Hearn and Dillian White. And we know Dillian White said he wanted a tall opponent so he can prepare, which to me still makes me scratch my head, being that it's like, dude, you already fought Anthony Joshua before. Like, I mean, and you can get a whole bunch of sparring to prepare. You can, spar with guys that are taller than you. You know what I mean? You can spar Joe Joyce and Helenius and all. You can travel and spar all these guys. But Mansour, then the Gerald Washington rematch, he talked about that, how that didn't come about. He said that the second time around, they're going to pay both of those guys half of what they made for the first fight. All right. He talked about a lot of fights, man, that just fell through. So I want to see him, man, in there with a Derek Chisora, Andrew Ruiz Jr., Lucas Brown, anybody like that, man. Charles Martin, guys that have been former title holders or guys that are right on the brink. Amir Mansour deserves to be in that conversation of contender. You know what I mean? I don't get why people are so, I'm not going to say afraid, but why there's not as willing to pick him when it comes down to, when he's in that group of 2 or 3 names, especially for a TV-friendly type of fighter. Man, he comes forward. He's going to throw bombs. He isn't a guy that's been used as a knockout dummy. You know what I mean? That's boxing politics for you, man. If you see right here, he is number 15 by the WBO. They even spelled his name wrong, but he's number 15 by the WBO. And, yeah, man, I like to see him in here with a lot of these guys, man. Johan Duhaupas. Anybody, man. Anybody, want to see this guy get thrown in the mix. Even a guy like Shannon Briggs. I think that fight is sell. You could put it on the undercard somewhere. I like the Shannon Briggs fight. Um, but yeah, man, you guys go check out that interview that Amir Mansour did with Baylor Rick TV. I'm gonna leave it in the comments section, man, and you guys can check it out for yourself. But really want to see Amir Mansour get some good fights here, man. I think the dude deserves it. His last fight against Travis Kaufman, I know Kaufman isn't a world beater, but Kaufman, according to Amir Mansour, Kaufman and his people said that, I don't know how true this is, according to Mansour, and I actually did a video about this also, because I remember when this news was going around, Kaufman was saying that he was on, this was the end of last year, coming into 2017, where Kaufman was saying that he's on brink of a Wilder shot. And a lot of us was like, huh, where? I remember that an article came out, his hometown newspaper. Kaufman said he has to win one more fight, and he was promised a Wilder title shot. So, go figure. But that was the news at one point. I remember that. And Amir Mansour talked about it, and he beat Kaufman. And he said, hey, man, you know, I beat Kaufman. Nobody even mentioned a title shot for me after I beat Kaufman. And I know that Wilder had Stavern mandatory. I know all that. I'm just telling you what Travis Kaufman was saying last year, man. Then Dominic Breazeale, who was pretty much losing that fight until they got stopped. Breazeale was hitting. He was landing some good right hands on Mansour. Mansour cut his tongue up in that fight. I think he got 8 stitches on one side of his tongue and 9 stitches on the other side of his tongue. Swallowing blood. Tongue started to swell up. He couldn't breathe. Again, no excuses. Breazeale, that's not his fault. He persevered through all that. Even got off the deck, and he was able to get a victory. All right, Breazeale went on to fight for the title. Gerald Washington went on to fight for a title. That Washington fight, I thought Mansour got that fight. It was a draw. You know, so then Fred Cassie, a guy who got knocked unconscious. I mean, highlight of the year. I believe it was knockout of the year in 2014 when Amir put him to sleep. And Cassie's a guy after this fight who I thought he got a draw with Areola. I thought Cassie beat Areola. And I thought Cassie beat Dominic Breazeale in those 2 fights he had after the Mansour fight. Then I think Cassie went on to fight Hughie Fury and Jarrell Big Baby Miller after that. Kelvin Price right here. Mansour fought him at a time where Price only loss was to Wilder. Steve Cunningham fight, a fight that I thought Mansour won. You know what I mean? But all of these were action-packed type fights, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I want to see Amir Mansour in there with somebody. Maybe they can put him in there with Adam Konowski, the upcoming kid. BoxRec had Konowski at, what, number 10 last time I checked. Let me see what they have him right now. Because he's a PBC fighter. I think that'd be an all-action fight. Let's see. Yeah, they got Konowski at number 9 here on BoxRec. You know, so hopefully he has a good fight, man. But y'all let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.